Squirt with water. Take a wet brush, swirl it on top, and then take a paper towel and pick it up. That's how we clean it. You should be cleaning your paints once you're done with them. To prep your paint, get them wet, like I mentioned, with the squirt bottle. I don't want to see you filling up the whole cup with water, just pour a little bit on. You can also use a brush dipped in water and brush the water on. Before you paint, you're going to need your name on the back side and your table color, a container of water. Do not fill them up more than halfway. If I fill it up to the top, when I'm walking around the room, it's going to be unsafe. So don't fill it up more than halfway. It would look something like that. You're gonna need your best friend, the paper towel. Paper towel's your best friend for many reasons. It helps you clean up the paint. It helps you clean off your brushes. I'm going to brush it on top of the dirty areas, and then my best friend can dab it clean. So let's say I'm painting with blue. Is my brush ready? No, it is not. It still has blue paint on it, so I want to swirl it in the water. I'm actually touching the bottom of the container with my brush. I'm going to swipe it on the edge, and then I'm going to dab it on the paper towel. Swirl, swipe, dab. Is it clean and ready to go? Yes, it is. Now I'm ready to paint with another color. I never want to see you do this. Not being respectful, responsible, and safe. Something like this happens when somebody is not being responsible with their tools. A student picked this up and was playing with it and it cracked. Or a student was using the end of their brush and breaking it apart themselves. This does not happen naturally. If I see this happen, the painting center will be closed for the next class. The more water you use, the easier the paint moves across your paper. If I go in with a brush that's dry and I try to put it on paint that's not that wet, that's what it looks like. It drags across and it's not as bright. So make sure you get your brush nice and wet, or you get the paint wet beforehand, and then it'll be nice and bold. The tip is move your arm, not your wrist, when you paint. That means I'm moving my arm across my paper instead of my wrist going across. It'll help me make a nice smooth line because I'm actually painting with my shoulder versus my wrist. A brush stroke is just the marks that you make with your brush while you're painting. You can make many different kinds of brush strokes. I can stipple my brush, meaning touch it in little dots. I can make my brush strokes go all in the same direction. I can make my brush strokes go in all different directions. I can mix color as I'm creating brush strokes. It's just mark making with your brush. Mix an interesting color and give the color a name. While it's wet, I'm going to add in another color. I just mixed purple and green together. This paper is not meant for paint, so you can see it's starting to buckle. That means it's starting to get wavy. I'm gonna dab some of this up with my paper towel because I don't want it to drip all over the place. Make sure that you clean off the colors you use so that the next person comes in and doesn't have to do your dirty work. These go back at the center in the correct labeled bins. Your water gets dumped at the empty side of the sink, and the brushes go in the brush bath.